Hey folks, buenas. Um, I have got to start off with an apology. It has taken me, I'm going to say 7 weeks, might be 8 weeks to finish my book, which is really shocking and not at all what I wanted to be achieving when I started my project here. So sorry about that. There are reasons why it's taken me so long, but I mean, and I do feel bad. Also because this is a present from a friend of mine, bought it me many years ago, and it's taken me so long to read it, and I haven't particularly enjoyed it, and I'm a bit embarrassed about kind of having to share that with him, which I will do before I sort of post this video. And didn't work for me, and I'll explain why. I've had some life and some money stuff and some weather stuff. It's been terrible, shocking weather here, shocking weather for this part of the world. I'm coming up to a year here, first year here, I guess. And I haven't seen it this bad at all. Not for this, not sustained like this for week upon week. Very cold, very wet, very rainy, very windy. A little bit of sunshine now, so I'll won't do a long video because I want to get some drying done if I can. But that sort of affected me as well a little bit. So sorry about that. The book is Feast of the Goat by Mario Vargas Llosa. And I'm in terms of 5 stars, I'm going to give it. I guess I'm going to say it's a 4 in terms of a quality book written by a quality writer. Did some, interesting, great things. Very knew what he was doing. Some interesting things about timelines. There's a current timeline. There's a nested past timeline. He works that very well. It all comes together very well. But it's straight on after the Cormac McCarthy. It's another book in a weird landscape. Another uh, book with lots of Hispanic ecosystem in it, of horrible, horrible men doing horrible, horrible things to each other. Um, that's it's some parts of it are very, very grim, very distant. Not all of it, chunks of it, not like the Cormac McCarthy, but some bits were just really, really, really horrible. um, and sad and moving. And I can appreciate that it's a good book. I think it's unfortunate in my rating, just because of the cadence of where I've chosen to read it. Is it's too soon after other grim books, and I kind of am getting a little bit burnt out from that. And so I felt less compulsion, reason to go back to it, and I really did have to force myself. I'm glad I forced myself, and I'm glad I completed it. And I'm glad I kind of honoured my obligation to my friend for having bought it for me. But I mean, it was tough. It was tough. It was a tough. If you've got any interest in that part of the world, which I don't really, to be honest with you, or that part of history, or that part of, there's a sense of the kind of the absurdity of it all, and the kind of craziness, and there's a little bit of humour about the arbitrariness of a dictator and his court favourites and the games he plays. But then there's an awful lot about torture, and kind of, and yeah. So there's only so much madness, that you want to kind of deal with. So I'm gonna. It's a donate to the Casita Library, which I'll leave for future inhabitants or guests or visitors to pick up if they want to. It's a good book. There's nothing structurally, architecturally, performance written bad about it, but not particularly one for me at this time in my life. Hope you like my Rebus Oxford Bar bookmark, by the way, which you can pick up just on the shelf, on the tables in the bar. Very nice pub in Edinburgh, which I got from a few years ago. I started to try and keep myself going 2 other books, which I haven't got too far into, but I will finish this week, and I will do videos for you, for everyone, right? One is a textbook about how to write philosophy essays. Sounds boring, perhaps, but I got it when I was doing one of my MAs, and I did find it very useful, very interesting. It tells you how to write philosophy essays, which is not a particular need I have at the moment, but there's lots of logic in here, which I find interesting, though scary. And I'm not particularly good at it, but I feel I should force myself to try and engage with it a bit more. But it's also really about writing, about clarity of writing, about argumentation, about how to structure your writing, which I think is generally useful. I think very well written and nice, It's very dry, but he has some nice little jokes in there as well. And it's I like being in the company of people who know what they're doing, right? This is a book I've picked up in Malaga from my friend Bill when I was down in my kind of life admin thing, and he picked it up, I think, in some sort of English secondhand bookstore down there, which I'd love to go to actually. Which was No More Books, Gary. Can't buy any more books. Okay. Book that he remembered reading as a boy that really scared him, that kind of stuck with him. And he asked me to read it. And I did, and I thought it was really, really good. And I can see why it stuck in his mind, and because it is scary, very vivid, very builds very, very well. Raspberry Jam by Angus Wilson, not a writer of any other stuff that I've read, but I'm very intrigued by him now. But I noticed that the first story in the book was Charles Dickens' The Signal Man, which I know from the 1970s TV adaptation, which I think is very, very good. So that was spooky, that was fun. And then the next story was very, 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 it's a very typical Thomas Hardy. The Withered Arm, Fate, Bad End, a tragic, poor, tragic, poor people. But it's very, very, very good. And there's other stories in here from other writers that I would like to dip into, so I'm quite keen on that. So, long and the short of it is, hoping for some drying weather, so I'll make this short. Sorry for the break. Thanks for having faith in me. I am back in the saddle, I hope, and I will carry on, and I will get this right, and I will get some more reviews done. And thanks for your patience. Well, I guess maybe there's something to be learnt from a reading slump. Maybe there's some things I can think about how to kind of avoid this or minimise it in the future. Long and short of it is, good book, too grim, and I want to sort of carry on and read something a bit different now. All right, my friends, so that's me, I guess. Thank you very much for your time. Bye.